Welcome back, everyone. Today, I want to talk about Austin, Texas. Again, I put out a video about 2 months ago talking about the expected forecasted appreciation in the market. We have seen that and then some. I still expect this market to continue to go up. But I got to be honest, living here, owning properties here, it is just been bananas. And I think if you're looking in the markets, you're trying to find deals or you're trying to find a personal property for yourself, you've seen the frenzy that it is. If you go to any new home developer across any of the new subdivisions in the market, they're all sold out. And not just sold out now, but for some time in the future. And one of the things that's happening is that developers are pulling back on development for a number of reasons. One, they know there's price appreciation coming to Austin, and so they're not going to sell homes today. They're going to wait to take advantage of that price appreciation, which will obviously make them more money. Two, there's a substantial increase in the cost of timber and therefore lumber, right? Lumber is a big component of building a home. What is expected to be a 35% increase in lumber in the near future cannot simply be offset by price increases because new home developers will not increase prices 20, 30%. That's just too much of a price increase. So they're going to wait for that to come down before they really take on a lot more inventory in their pipeline, okay? So, but what is really happening in Austin? Well, again, I'll put the video above here. In my last video, I talk about some of the big things that are happening. And I don't have to tell you about the Oracles or the Teslas. You know all that's already happening, right? But this is definitely one of the most attractive markets for the migration population across the United States. And there is without a doubt a massive shortage of inventory all the way down from Kyle all the way up to Killeen. Supply is just absolutely so hard to find. I just had a neighbor down the street put his property on the MLS on a Friday, sold by Sunday, over 100 offers. I have another story. I was just with my friend yesterday having a drink. He bought his house for $575 about 18 months ago. And a block away from him, same size of a house, corner lot, it had a number of offers way above asking and sold at $901,000 as a cash offer. This market resembles so much of the Bay Area 2015, 2016, and I do think that's going to continue. So one, any investment that I have seen in Austin, city limits will not cash flow. It probably does not make sense to buy real estate as an investment within Austin. Now, there are some outskirts that still make sense, but it's getting harder and harder, okay? And I have a video on my channel that goes through the top 5 neighborhoods in Austin that I think are potential investment opportunities. Now, if you're buying for yourself, this is really important. And I'm not going to try to predict the timing of the market, but do understand that you're entering a frenzy. You're going to be paying top dollar. You're going to have to put over asking on most of your bids. And you're going to pay quite a bit for your home nowadays. Now, I think people are still buying at higher prices because they can justify the offset in income tax, and they're still getting a much bigger house for the same price versus where they came from, right? Back in the Bay Area, your per square foot cost is around $1,000 to $1,400 a square foot. So 1,000 square foot home is $1 million. Well, here in Austin, the price per square foot will probably range by the time you see this video between $280 and $350. Okay, so 1,000 square foot home here is around $350,000, $400,000. Okay, so it's roughly 1/3 to 1/4 the price on a per square foot basis, and so you're still getting a lot of house for your money here in Austin. Now, there's other things that are going to be happening. And what I really want you to think about as you go about buying a home is something called the affordability index. I think this market taps out when the affordability index mirrors that of 2009, 2010, right? So if people are spending about 35 to 38% of their income on a house here in Austin, I think you will begin to see that taper off. Now, we still have some room to go, okay? And one of the things that's keeping this affordability down is the low mortgage rates. And I think they will remain low for some time. So we'll still see a lot of pressure on the prices, increasing prices. And I actually think the price appreciation will probably happen through 2023. And then we don't really know, I think at that point, what's going to happen. It really comes down to the cost of ownership, cost of a mortgage. And keep in mind, Austin, Texas does do reassessments on property values pretty frequently. So you will be seeing property taxes go up year over year. And so just be careful of that. And so I just wanted to make this video because there is no doubt a frenzy in this market. And it's one thing to just buy a home and hope that it keeps going up. But I do think that's at a point, people are not going to be able to justify the price of $1 million for a home that was just $500,000, 12 months ago. Okay. And I'll tell you, for example, I'm building a house out in Lakeway. Again, I bought it for $640,000. Well, today, and I put it in contract in June, right? So you're talking 9 months, and it'll be done being built in March of 2022. Okay. Well, right now it's worth 1.11 million. That's a $500,000 increase in price, and I expect that to be around 1.3 to 1.4 million when it's all said and done, which is just bananas. And so my point is, this market is crazy, and you really need to think about at what point does the market tap off in terms of affordability. And so when that affordability index gets to a point where people are spending 35, 38% of their income on a house, I think you have to be careful because you might be buying at a peak. If you like what you heard, give it a thumbs up, and I would love to get your take on the Austin market. Thanks.